Hi, I want to talk about something I wish someone had told me about when I was a lot younger. Not so much as advice or a pep talk, but just truth. And that is, you're enough. Not in an Instagram or TikTok kind of way, but in a way that actually kind of changes the way that you move through your life. And when I say you're enough, first, here's what you're enough doesn't mean. First off, it absolutely has nothing to do with the dollar sign or the number of dollar signs that you have. It has nothing to do with perfection or being constantly go productive. Your enough has nothing to do with being chosen, and definitely has nothing to do with, making no mistakes and doing everything, just right. All right. And your enough doesn't mean being like the right kind of girl or woman. It definitely doesn't mean like shrinking around other people so that they somehow feel better, or performing, which is something I did many years ago. And you don't have to earn rest. We all deserve rest to rejuvenate our body, our soul, our mind. But it has to do, again, with how you kind of move through life. All right. When you realize that you're enough, you don't shrink when you're around others. You don't necessarily apologize endlessly for everything. I mean, obviously, if you make a mistake, you want to clean things up and apologize, but you don't have to go on and on and on about it. And you don't, being enough doesn't mean saying no, is such a bad thing. It's not at all. Being enough means being you and being okay with being you. All right. And it means choosing the people who like to choose you. Being enough means letting your life be real, which sometimes can turn out to be more quiet than you thought it was going to be. It also means trusting your voice. And that's, of course, attached to confidence, owning your mistakes when you make them, and clean it up and then move on. It means being kind and expecting kindness in return. And if you want to kind of like wrap that up all together, what it means is recognizing that you're worthy. All right. I know when I was a lot younger, I was very concerned about always impressing others. I always was like a little too overdressed, because I wanted to prove my worth. And I'm not saying I would wear a ball gown to a business meeting or anything crazy like that, but I was a little overdone sometimes, and it's because I wanted people to be impressed with me. And instead, it worked out very differently. I mean, I was kind to other people, but a lot of times people would see me or think of me as being kind of bitchy. And it's like it wasn't my behavior. Maybe it was my appearance. I don't know, But what I recall is, I remember, this is way back when I lived in San Diego. One day I was walking out to my mailbox, and it was like just this beautiful day, and I lived in this cute little cottage, with the sun sort of dappling through the trees. And I'm walking to my mailbox, and I realized that, Denise, people don't really care about you. Now that might sound a little sad, but in a way it was very liberating, because what it meant to me to say that is people really don't care about necessarily judging you or making you wrong, or like looking for your flaws or things like that, because they're so damn busy, like judging themselves and looking for their own flaws, right? They don't have time to look for anybody else's, And in that moment, I realized that I was free, and that I decided that I was going to focus on being enough, and something I hope you'll consider is to be enough, when you recognize that you're enough, you realize that you don't have to earn your worth, you don't have to wait for others to approve of you. I think that's something that we do, and it comes from childhood, because the child always wants to hear they're a good girl or they're a good boy. Well, once you're an adult, you're the only person that really has to approve of you. And you already have it because you're enough. And so if this message resonated with you, it'd be great if you take a moment to like the video, subscribe the channel, and join in on the conversation. Join me.